Now, what I didn't mention is how can we save and come back to this if we need to. You can definitely do that. So for the second video, we're going to talk about that first, and then I'm going to show you how to get rid of backgrounds for certain objects and duplicate them and move them around. So files, save. When you guys are saving, make sure you save as a PSD. As long as you save it as a PSD, we can close out of here, and then we can reopen that just by dragging it back into here, and it's going to be right where we left it. Okay, so make sure you guys are saving as a PSD and then just reopen it later by dragging or going to file, open. Okay, all right, so now we're going to do is we're going to be adding butterflies like the ones you see here in this picture, right? I'm going to be adding these butterflies in the background. Okay, so out of that. So to do that, we're going to click off of this transform controls. We're going to just go back to Google, type in butterfly. And when you guys are selecting objects we want to put into our collage, the easiest type of objects to select are objects that look like this, where there's a plain background. This one will work. This one will also work as well, okay? But white will probably be the easiest one. I'm going to go with just this one. I'm going to go ahead and hit copy here. And then go back to Photopea, then paste. And this is going to be butterfly number 1. So I'm just going to name this butterfly 1. And then I'm going to shift this over. I'm going to shrink it down so that I can see all of it on the frame here. So holding down shift again. There we go, hit enter. And now we're going to use the magic wand tool. So magic wand tool, we're going to just select the white area. And the easiest way to get rid of this is just selecting it and then hitting delete. So that's one way to do it. That works for this because, again, it's got a simple background. The other thing you could do done as well is we could have did a layer mask here, an inverted layer mask. So we can go to selection, invert this, and then hit the mask tool just like before. All right, but again, we could just hit delete. That works just fine. Oops. It's inverted. Again, to undo anything is just going to be Command Z or Edit Undo here. Okay, so there's our butterfly. You can go ahead and also adjust the contrast here. So make sure you're doing that throughout, for your own project as well. Make sure you guys are adjusting colors and things like that so that the elements that you're adding to it looks the best they could. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now we're just going to scale this down. And I'm holding shift here. And then we can rotate it like so. Hit enter there. That one looks pretty good. Now we can just do a duplicate here. So copy, duplicate layer here. Then move this guy over. Rotate them. Scale them down. Move them over. Enter there. This is going to be butterfly 2. And then I'm going to just duplicate this again. All right, then we got butterfly 3. Okay, now we're going to take a cardinal. So we're going to go here and type in cardinal bird. And let's say our background isn't as nice as the one we just worked with. So let's just pick another picture here. Let's say it's, I don't know, let's pick maybe this picture here. That looks okay. And we're going to copy this. Go back to Photopea. We're going to paste. And then this time, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys to see a little bit better. When we use the magic wand, it's got a lot of other textures in here. So to add to that selection, you're going to go to Unite here, and then you can just hold down Shift, and that should allow you to kind of grab more of that area around it. Okay, there we go. My tolerance too right now is at 16. Maybe If yours isn't working quite right, you can use that tolerance, bring that down to 16. This looks okay. To select here, that looks good. And then what I want to do, because if I go to layer mask here, it's going to cut out the bird. So I really don't want that. I want the opposite. I want it to cut out the background. So what you guys need to do is go to select here, go to inverse. And now the inverse will be selected. And then when I hit layer mask, it'll mask it up. So now I'm going to call this bird, enter. And then I can move this bird around like so. Maybe here, zoom out a little bit for you to see. There you go. Now the edges are a little rough, so if you wanted to, you can go back with the brush tool and you can brush in. Remember, we learned this with the exercise back then, that white brings in and black deletes. So you could go and you could erase it a little bit cleaner if you wanted to, like this. And then if you hit X, it switches the brush to white. But I think that looks pretty good for now. Okay, there's the cardinal. The next video, I'm going to show you how to add me into the fray here.